Well, hello and welcome to Teal House Farm. We have got a haul of the homestead variety for you. So our church got a brand new kitchen. Look how lovely that is. One of our, or several of our church parishioners, I guess you call them, put this all together. It's beautiful. But with all this cabinetry and stuff came lots of boxes. And do you know who could use a lot of cardboard boxes that the church was wondering how on earth they could get rid of? I can. So we're gonna load up the truck because we got some work to do in the garden. I feel like maybe I should weigh those down so they don't blow out on the way home. I'm not driving the highway home. I don't know. I got some toe straps. I'll call Sam and see what he says. And we're back, right Pat? You ready to do this? You get your boot?
No.
We need help?
Yeah.
The geese aren't there. Don't worry about the geese. It's all good. Okay, so there's all the cardboard. I just threw it in the mud room. This is in fact not the next day. This is like a week later. But we're here. The cats have also christened a piece of cardboard for us, but I guess it doesn't really matter because it's all going outside anyway. All right, let's go, boy. The extension cord, don't worry, that doesn't go anywhere. We vacuumed the cars last night and it never got put away. So we'll take care of that too. Okay, here is the mess of the end of the garden. Yay! There is the goose watching us do everything. Not Pat's favorite bird, but if I was as tall as the goose, I would probably be scared of it too. You want to go jump, bud? Or are you going to help me?
Mommy, you said I could help.
Yeah, you can help too. Yep, you can all help. Okay, I do not feel like doing this at all, but mostly because it just feels overwhelming. That's obviously a big mess. There is a lot of work to be done to close it up for the year. You may say, isn't it kind of early to be closing the garden up? It is because I didn't plant a fall garden. It hasn't rained in like 3 weeks. What's wrong? He's just sitting there. Don't worry, I'm protecting you. So anyway, we're going to start on the process of closing it up. So what I do when a project feels big and overwhelming, I'm just setting a time limit. Today, I just want to work for about 45 minutes. I just put the baby down for her morning nap. She doesn't take a real long morning nap anymore, so usually it's about an hour. So I'm aiming for about 45 minutes so that I can get inside and washed up a little bit when I'm done getting all sweaty. And we're just going to start with the raised beds with the cardboard. Okay, I'll go over there so I can show you.
Mommy, get it up.
Yeah. All right, so the raised beds have been done for over a month because they had early spring things in them that were all harvested in like July, and like potatoes and onions and things like that. So we're going to clear out the weeds, and then we're going to lay down some cardboard, and then we're going to put the rest of last year's composted stall material from our sheep on top to weigh down the cardboard. And the cat, yeah, I know. The cats will be in the way, but that's okay. So we're just going to get started. We're going to see how far we get. And if this goes really fast, we'll talk about the rest of the garden. But really today, 45 minutes, starting with the raised beds. Okay, we try to give some direction here. We're going to pull up all the weeds that have grown in these beds because I've just been ignoring them. I'm actually just going to lay them down under the cardboard. This will probably cause a little commotion amongst the commenters, but I feel like under 2 layers of cardboard and what's going to be like 8 inches of fill dirt, no seed is going to break through or survive, and this will just add extra material to break down inside these beds. So we lay them down, and then we're going to put the big sheets of cardboard on top. I'm double layering the cardboard to make sure it's extra thick. And then we obviously need to get around the corners and the rim. I want this to be nice and tight, and luckily I saved lots of small Amazon packages for that. So we're going to get those put in with our big sheets that we got from the church. And I kind of rip them to make them fit better. I really want this to be a cozy and tight fit so that it'll really help block out any weeds from breaking through in the spring. Okay, that's what we got in the first bed. That looks pretty good. I didn't take the trellis out. It was nice and sturdy. We're just going to leave it right there. Now let's get started on the second bed. The kids did a good job pulling out the weeds, and so we're just going ahead and laying down cardboard the same way. First we start with the double folded sheets, and then we'll go in with the smaller boxes to really get it tight around the corners and around the trellis. The trellis on this one was really wobbly, so I decided I'm going to yank it out. The first side came out super easy, and the second side, which seemed like it was super wobbly, was apparently concreted in on the bottom. I could not get it out. But at this point, I had to get it out because I already took one side out, so a little muscle power. We did get it wiggled out, and we'll just lay that down on the side, and we'll put it back in the spring once we get more filter in here. That's nice and packed in. Now it's time to figure out where we left our wheelbarrow so that we can go ahead and get some compost to put on top. It's not a long walk to the barn, but of course it's uphill both ways. You guys know how that works. Now the question I always get whenever I make this video is, why don't you take the fence down to do this? And the answer is really quite simple. Because I have a lot of little kids, if I take the fence down and somebody gets a boo-boo or the baby wakes up, I can't always take 10 minutes to put it back up. But I can't leave the fence down while I go take care of things because the sheep will get out. So I leave the fence up and just unplug it, and I just shovel through the fence and crawl through. That way, if I have to leave in a jiffy, I don't have to worry about the sheep getting out. That looks great. Super healthy composted stall material. Let's bring that down to our raised beds and we'll give it a dump in. I'm thinking 3 trips for each bed should do it, at least for the fall here. Obviously, we'll top everybody off with our 1-1-1 ratio in the spring. JJ gives me a hand pressing it around, and so does Ivy. And we do 2 loads. It's actually pretty good. Brief pause. Sheep are completely out of water. I think their trough must have a leak in it because we like a slow leak because we filled it up like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago all the way. Sheep don't drink that much water, but they need a little bit. But the problem is, yesterday I broke the hose trying to let the kids have fun time, because it was really hot. Snapped it. So I can't drag a hose to the sheep waterer. This bucket that looks like it doesn't have a hole in it. Can't drag a hose to the sheep waterer to fill it because I broke the hose. So now we're going to fill up buckets and drag them. So this is going to suck up a big part of my time. So that's a big trough. And I got to fill it up enough that they can reach in there. Homestead, people said. It'll be great. Great fun. Great family time. It'll be great. Hi, sorry dudes. That should do you for a while. We'll keep an eye on it. Make sure, see if this leaks out or not. It could also be the geese and the ducks, since we don't have pedals to splash in, that they're coming and splashing it all out. Because they do come in here. So we're just keeping an eye on it for them. Don't worry, they can't have been without water for a super long time because we do check on them like every other day, check their water. So they had water like 24 hours ago, so it hasn't been forever, but it is super dry. You saw by this field. We have not had rain in a very long time, probably 3 weeks, which isn't abnormal for the fall here, but a little bit of rain would go a long way, right fellas? That grass can't taste too good. We're gonna have to start feeding them hay and stuff heading into the fall. Though it's earlier than we'd like to feed hay, because obviously hay is an extra expense and they should still be able to eat from the field, but not if it doesn't decide to rain in the next couple of days. And don't worry, this isn't all they have. They got all that out there too, so plenty of room for them to scrounge. Okay. However, I have basically run out of time now because the baby, I can hear him. I cracked the window so I can hear when the baby wakes up. And she's fussing inside. So I'll show you what I got done, and then we're gonna have to go inside and switch gears. We got one bed topped off, and the idea of this is not that we're resetting the bed completely for fall, it's just that we're weighing down the cardboard, for spraying. So in spring, we will add some fill dirt and some potting soil and more compost, basically do a 1-1-1 ratio, and that works great in these beds. They have settled a lot because we do the hugelculture method, and so all of that branches and tree leaves and stuff that were on the bottom have now been pressed all the way down. So my hope is that this year, when I top off, it's going to stay pretty well and not settle quite as much. I did have to take the trellis out of that bed. I kept the trellis in this bed, and I got the cardboard down. I'm going to try to come out this evening after little kid bedtime and just at least do a load of the compost on top of that cardboard, so if it gets windy, it doesn't blow away, but it doesn't look like a lot, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. Woo, almost fell over. And that makes the whole process seem easier. There's still the whole regular garden to do behind that, which is going to be very much the same process, but it's one step at a time. You can't let the process overwhelm you. As always, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.